by an author named Jamie Go. She's a Malaysian Chinese author, and she's written some steampunk. She wrote it in 2019. It's called where is it? The article is called "Variations on a Name: The Punks of Our Time," and it's about how steampunk is supposedly dead, and so how do we move?
Save it for the show. Save it for the show.
I know that one. It keeps
that one,
up.
yeah. I've talked about it a lot. Yeah, I've used it in some because she did her she's a PhD, but she did her master's and her PhD in steampunk literature. So
she's just like steampunk is dead. There's no future.
No, she said that she was being told that by her agent, and so that's like she's like, well, steampunk maybe it's a lot of people are considering it a commercial venture, but it's not that. It's more than that.
Yeah,
and so she goes into like all the different, but we'll talk about it. Yeah, it's a really good article.
Good. That's my problem every time I look at steampunk. Just like it's a lot of old stuff.
Well, and again, just
stuff.
It's like including me these days. Like no,
but we can break it out beyond the Victorian or Wild West architecture into other stuff, like multicultural steampunk. That's where we need to be going, and we just got to make it catch on. I tried, but more people need to. So
yeah. I just keep getting that little meme of that. I think it's the Simpsons meme. The future is now, old man. I'm like, shut up,
old man yelling at cloud.
Yeah. Just hi.
And also, I have my lovely Christmas present from Shannon that I'm going to show y'all too.
Ooh.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
And I have another mystery beer.
Fun. I just have. Well, have we started yet? I mean, technically,
no. We're a minute and a half in of the pre-show,
but we're waiting for the 8 o'clock. Yeah,
the pre-game. Okay. So seriously, it's like 70 degrees down there.
Yeah,
it was before the rain came.
Yeah, then it did drop today. Like it is now.
Okay, dropped to what?
It's 55 degrees right now.
Okay, that's
So it's actually kind of want to wear a jacket now outside of just keeping the rain off of you.
Well, and I saw Kitty posting pictures that she got snow, but she's in like Fort Worth, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get snow.
No,
we got some sleet, and that was it. Because a couple of my friends are posting pictures. And I'm like, North Texas was apparently a vast array of weather this weekend because we got drizzly, freezing rain, and to the point you could hear it, but we didn't get anything close to snow, and we got cold. I mean, we got down to 8 degrees one night.
Well, there's a weird like I'm trying to think how. Okay, if you're watching the stream, you're gonna see it like this. So you have like the picture of Texas, something like this. We have this weird like large. I can't go backwards.
A wart.
This is like okay. Anyway, essentially from San Antonio all the way through like Louisiana is where the cold front and the warm front meet, and it's just a lot of rain right there. And so behind it, you're getting the snow, and in front of it, you're just getting tons of rain.
Yeah, that's like we got.
Earlier this week, we were estimated to get anywhere from 8 to 16 inches here in Austin.
Jesus.
And I don't think we're going to hit that, yay, but it rained a lot.
I mean, we can complain about it, but then it's going to stop, and we're not going to see any more rain until December. So.
Yep.
Exactly. Hi, Rita.
Could get all our rain now.
I know. We get all of our rain in the winter, and yeah. Hi, Lawrence.
Hey, Lawrence.
Woohoo!
Jack, did you know that we did get snow at the Austin airport?
What?
Seriously?
Like a snowflake hit the conning tower.
It did a snow.
I found an article on it, but I'm still.
Is it because it was 200 feet above the ground? Therefore, it's
industrial enhanced snow.
The hell does that mean?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Someone opened a freezer.
Like pollution snow?
Someone opened a freezer. That's what happened.
I don't. This article is terribly written.
Cite your sources.
Okay, now I'm at weather.gov. Industrial enhanced snowfall.
What is
that?
I'm assuming it probably has a particulate that's catching.
Yeah, that would be my assumption.
Steam from several industrial power plants or
makes sense.
steam
Steam
engines
is
of some
mixing
sort.
with, yeah.
Essentially doing the lake shadow effect, where the humidity off the lake is going up, then freezing
Yeah.
and falling. Yeah.
Except more enhanced, since it's just
It's
pumping
very,
out
very localized, and it's happened to be right next to the airport.
right to the airport.
Perfectly where you want your snow. I can just imagine that. It's like, all right, so we're coming into the Austin Regional Airport, and we're being told we need to come around to a different area of the airport because the current landing zone is under snow.
One of our runways is under snow. The rest are
only
fine.
one of them. They're telling us it's industrial enhanced snow. It's all we need now is the captain having all that fun.
Texas Steampunk Connection coming to you live from various parts of Texas in our bunkers and airships and whatnot. I am Flavio as usual, and with me as always is Thax, the gentleman adventurer, and Jack from Steam Chest. And we have Master Blue Stocking. Say hello, guys.
Hey!
So once again, we are here to talk, probably about steampunk, most likely, because that's what this is about. Thank you for listening to the Texas Steampunk Connection.
Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday night, and Texas Steampunk Connection is here again. We're already joined by Rita and Lawrence, and your hosts are here, Dax, Jack, and Blue Stocking. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, it's a wonderful Tuesday night. Apparently, it's not snowing. I'm happy.
It's not snowing. It's drizzling.
The weather has had its ups and downs this week.
A little bit, yeah.
As we were going into it, it was freezing weather. We got a couple of days, 3 days of freezing, but no precipitation. So
we worked from home. It was
safe.
Great.
Well, I don't know. There might have been ice on the roadways, but we were just cold. I mean, it was cold and sunny. I think the one day I woke up and it was nice and bright and beautiful, but it was like 10 degrees. So yeah. Yeah.
I think one or two of my coworkers are in Gerald, Texas, which is north of Georgetown, north of Round Rock, north of Austin, and they were getting some sleet early in the morning on the first coldest day. Or at least that's the excuse they used not to come to work.
I mean,
I walked outside and it looked like someone drenched my car and then froze it. I had like a layer of ice on it.
Oh, that is the worst. I hate that.
You're just like, take a picture and you're like, send it to Teams or to your boss going, I'm going to be a couple minutes late. I'm trying to get into my car to even start the heater.
See, I have a remote starter. I can start it from my phone, and it's awesome.
You of the future. You of the
and I can set where I want the temperature to be. I can hit the climate preset, and it starts it up. And yes, it's delightful. I didn't know I needed it until I had it.
We've had a rental car for my wife because she had to get some body work done due to someone not paying attention in December, and it's got heated seats, so she's really been enjoying the heated seats.
Yeah, those are very nice.
She's like, Jack, I want these in my car, and I'm like, looking up online, like, for $5,000, you can have it for your car.
Within 3 days of freezing weather, and then it was 75 degrees.
Yep.
And now we've got rain coming through, so the temperature dropped to the 50s, and it's just wet.
Yep.
Now, Blue Stocking, it got quite a bit colder for you?
Yes. I went ahead and worked from home yesterday. I think it got up to 38-ish because I had to go out to the doctor's office. So I look like a hobo and just all the sweat's layered on. And when I had my hat on, I didn't realize till I was at the doctor's office and I put my hands up like this. I'm like, what is that? One of my leather gloves was in my hat. And I'd gone out in public like this. I didn't know it was in there. So I'm like trying to pull it out and stick it in my purse. Yes, it was
like,
horrible.
Maybe that's a new thing.
I just strapped on as much fleecy material as I could to go to the doctor. And then today, I mean, it was rainy, but I think it got up to 48. So it's chilly now, but it's supposed to be better this week. I was looking at the forecast and it looks like we're done with the freezing
for
a while. See, no, the forecast I was looking at, it's next week is going to be, unless it's changed again, which is Texas.
Nice.
So
we're going to have a week about niceness because the way El Nino is working for us right now. But usually when you get that one pattern of a long period of stabilization, what's happening is that amoeba of cold air is essentially just piling up again, and then we'll push through again when El Nino kind of dips a little.
Awesome.
So yeah.
No, you were a meteorologist, Jack.
I really, I didn't realize I could have been one for a long time. And then I looked up what it takes to become a meteorologist, and I'm just like, I could be myself a YouTube meteorologist. I didn't know that. Well, howdy there, folks.
That's an item.
Rain coming.
Johnny Steverson has joined us. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny. About being a meteorologist, you'd look good on TV.
With his captain's outfit.
Oh yeah, and with a green screen on, we'd have.
Yes. Put Johnny on a green screen. Yes.
Only have the technology. Wait, I do.
So I need to get to drinking.
Yes.
Tonight.
Yes. Got to stay warm somehow.
Just talking. I see you've got a glass there. What you having?
It's my new usual, the Stella Rosa Rosso Lambrusco. Yeah.
Nice.
Busy Lambrusco. It's delicious and it's cheap. So. Screw top in a paper bag.
With a straw?
I mean, ooh.
We could get you a straw.
We have one of those.
Get you one of those really long, like curly Q straws.
I'm just gonna come on camera one day with just a bottle of cheap wine and a big straw, big old curly straw in it.
As long as you're not going with a boba tea straw, I think we'll be okay. But I will admit that there would be a new entertaining moment of watching the stream would be to watch the fluid like go up and out again of that stupid straw of yours.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. All right, we got to find funny sippy straws to drink our drinks out of now. Facts.
I'm pretty boring too. I'm drinking my homemade cider.
Oh, okay. That's
Did
not
we talk
boring.
about your
It's
homemade cider?
It's. We got to come up with a good name for it, though. We got like Fax's Stash.
I've been calling it Daddy's Juice.
Oh no!
Oh, that's a.
No.
Usually, I have a good comeback for that one.
I know. I don't either.
That one.
My
that
brain
one came and went on its own.
The gears just flew apart. I was trying to come up with something appropriately steampunk.
He's like, I got this.
Steampunk after dark.
That might
It always shows up.
That might be our next YouTube special. After dark.
All right, Jack, what do you have?
Oh yeah, show us what you have, Thax.
He already
What
did.
I did.
Oh yeah, your thing. My bad.
Yeah, Daddy's Juice.
This Daddy's Juice.
My brain just kicked off the last
saying
15 seconds just to like keep my sanity.
That's been happening to me a lot lately.
It's probably because of what you're drinking. There's not moonshine in there.
I was gonna say
you made the right alcohol.
I mean, you drink enough of it.
Blind. All right, Jack, what do you have?
This is another one of my mystery bottles from my friend. We're going to use. He told me we can't go off the color of the caps anymore because apparently it wasn't the group of bottles he thought it was. Because I told him it was different last time. So yeah, let's see what there is to drink. This one might be coffee, it might be Oktoberfest, or it might be poison.
So we're on an uncharted road now.
Uncharted territory. But we have to use the good old beer writing thing he gave me. It's got a beer opener on the side. Last time I opened one of these, it sprayed all over the door.
Oh,
it was overly pressurized.
It's called a bottle bomb.
Yeah. So hopefully I don't have to be cleaning up my monitor in just a second.
I was gonna say.
We're safe.
Okay.
Whoa. Yeah, if you keep those in the refrigerator, that will happen more slowly.
Well, this is true. But I don't have room in the small refrigerator upstairs.
All right, what is it?
I need a bigger booze refrigerator, apparently.
Don't we
booze
all?
Repository? For the ostentatory.
Is he speaking English?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore.
You come from a library. The ostentatory is the big, is a room that could be possible in a library.
Okay.
It's the room I want in a library.
Are you gonna drink your drink or what?
I know.
You're
Wait
fine.
for
We'll
it.
find out what it is. Jeez.
I thought he was going to do the whole presentation with the glass like Thax does.
No, we're going straight out of the bottle on this one. Oh, it's coffee. That is definitely coffee.
Was that
Ooh. I
good?
think it's probably his best coffee. I have to tell him that one was a good one.
Okay. Awesome.
Hopefully, he kept the recipe on that one.
Is
Is this the homemade stuff?
Oh yeah, that's the homemade
Oh,
stuff.
God.
a porter or something?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it is a coffee porter. It is very milky, and it is still very silty. So very strong. A lot of lucid flavors, and it's not gritty though, which is the nice thing. So
That is nice when your beer is not gritty.
so my friend Shard, it did great on your beer again. This one's good.
I'd rather not have to pour it through a sieve before I drink it.
The last one was that way. The orange top one was definitely. I needed a filter, so I just got a tea bag and just take this in a zip tie over the top. Drink it through that.
Oh my God, that is so white trash.
I thought it was inventive. I didn't have a steel filter running around. Jeez.
Lawrence is enjoying one of his Bellhaven wee heavies.
Mhm.
Oh,
I met a guy at a party at New Year's who knew what that was.
you sure it wasn't Lawrence?
No, this was some other guy. Different party.
Different
Ah,
party.
okay.
That he was drinking a different Bellhaven label.
Ah, okay.
But that clued me off. Oh, I know that. Lawrence likes that drink. And this is how you start conversations at a party.
There you go.
That guy
I
likes
know a
beer.
guy that drinks that.
I like beer too. We'll talk beer.
Bonding over booze.
Yep.
All right. Well,
What is going on this week?
Um,
Let's see.
before
Go
we
ahead.
go anywhere, actually, I want to show you what Shannon, some of you have met Shannon, my best friend, delightful tiny person. And she she got me a Christmas present. And at first I thought she got it at Steampunk November, but we have a couple of occult shops in town, and they do like every couple of months they'll do a market at night. And so apparently she went down there and she got me the Steampunk Tarot. Let's see. There we go.
Ooh.
Yes. And it's got a little manual, and then the cards are gorgeous, like the major arcana especially. Like, let's see, that's the full.
Oh.
Yeah, they are just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, that was my Christmas present, and so I'm learning all the cards, but it's by Barbara Moore and illustrated by Ali Febb, and it's Barbara Moore's Steampunk Tarot. So
You're gonna have to bring that with you and read our cards.
Dude, I have tried to learn tarot so many times. It's just I get distracted and wander off before I can memorize all of them.
Oh, you just come up with fantastic stories. Doesn't matter what the cards are.
I mean, I know it's some of them
the
like
card of death.
Well, I was gonna say like the death card isn't actually about that one. I know that one. I do know.
But that's the overly overplayed one. Now you come up with the one. It's like it's a woman holding like a weird boomerang and like upside down cog power supply, and you have to come up with like some random heinous story for that and what that means in someone's life. That sounds like a wonderful time.
I will see what I can do.
Okay.
I'll start working on that.
I don't think she's gonna start working on that.
No, I don't think she is
Probably
either.
not. I have too many things to memorize already.
Yeah, you're back at it with school and getting
yeah.
your podcast episodes out.
Yeah, I'm working on them. And we have confirmed that I will be able to go to Galveston Steampunk because I'm not going to England. I'm doing the presentation online, and I will graduate, or I'll defend probably in July or August. So I'll officially be a doctor by August. The party I won't graduate. I won't walk until December. So yeah, so we're getting there. I woefully overestimated my ability to, because I thought I could do it in 10 months and I couldn't. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer, but it's getting there. So episodes are going to start coming out again soon.
Sweet.
Dante!
I've known Dante since I was 12 years old.
I've known
Dante from 12 years old.
16.
He's done some of the narration bits on my show. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Yes.
speaking of that,
Yes.
I had a friend ask me if I've been in any auditory things outside of my other YouTube channels, and I
Mhm.
said yes, I'm in this. I sent him a link, and suddenly I'm now narrating like parts of the opening scroll of his new book.
Oh,
So he's like,
yay.
yeah. So you've got me a job.
Well, good. Some of y'all have just been really amazing with the narration. It's I've really appreciated it. It's helped a lot. It's turned this whole the dissertation is usually such a solitary event,
Mhm.
and it sucks.
Aw.
And so the ability to because that I did it this way, it's become a community event.
Yeah.
And that
It's
is
entertaining when you have multiple people,
Yeah.
and you have this kind of ability to kind of be holden to it as well because there's other people involved that want
Yeah.
to see the work.
Yeah, so it's helped a lot. I mean, it's still a hard process, but everyone that's contributed and helped me with it. It's been good. So
Good.
yeah. So
I'm glad to hear it.
hopefully I'll defend and I'll be Dr. Hedrick by August. And then yes, we're gonna have a small defense party that once it's done, and then December will be the big graduation blowout, and I'm gonna wear my robe for like 2 weeks. I'm just gonna run around everywhere in my
Run around everyone and just like hold up a rolled up paper that looks like a diploma and you smack people with it. You better
I have a
call me
doctor now. I have Dr. Librarian. So yeah, we're getting there. So
That should be your Steampunk November outfit, really, honestly.
my-
You should have see? Yes.
I could do that, and it'll be warm too. So
Yes.
because I'll have the robes by then. Might have to do that.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, does anybody else have anything exciting happening?
I mean, I can't tell the future, but I did find as I was combing through the old episodes, I sent it to Jack. Jack, when he was doing his Steam chest, would write a little like blurb, little letter that went with each box, and we did a unboxing on the show in like season 2, and I narrated his letter.
Great. It was fantastic.
in the episode, and I'd forgotten all about it, and I'm like, what is this? This is cool.
I should find all those because I have them all written down. Lex and I would sit, like we'd get all the stuff in for one of the boxes and be like, all right, now how do we tie all this together? And some of the stuff was a stretch, but it was always fun to make it a story of random events that made this all happen.
Yeah.
And I have them all written down, so I'm gonna have to find them. I might have like a read one or two off every episode coming for a while because we got years of them.
I used to do that for the collages and the junk journals that I made that I was selling on Etsy. I'd create a little story, and then for the people that actually bought some, I'd print out the story and then send it along with the piece. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And they were just little tiny things. But,
Oh yeah, but it's a nice touch. Everyone enjoys the very human.
Yeah,
someone cared
little
enough
extra.
to come up with this little extra.
Oh, also, I forgot. I got Kitty's corset. I got my pre-ordered corset. She's sending them out. Yes, it's beautiful. I haven't tried
when it comes in, you'll have to give us a wearing.
It's here. I haven't bothered to try to get into it yet because I'd have to take off sweats, and I'm not doing that. So
you have to shed your winter skin.
So I'll try it on soon. But I mean, she fitted me for it, so I'm not worried about it. So, but it's the brown brocade, and it's with the yellow ribbons, so it's really pretty.
Nice.
So, yeah,
I look forward to it.
So do I. Whew. All right. Well, anybody else have news, or are we going to go into our half-ass subject?
I think that's probably the next thing. Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead, Jack.
Okay. So I had an interesting question I came up with. Don't make me big. Don't do it. Just leave me here.
Big jackhead.
I don't need to be any bigger than I already am.
Got me.
Where did I put it? I had a question that's kind of been on my mind for a while, and I don't really know how to answer it still. And I've really been thinking about it a lot. And it's one of those things of what is the future of steampunk, considering 90% of it is all in the past or is some sort of alternate future. What does it mean now or in the near future for us that enjoy this genre? because most of the time it's just turning into a whole bunch of people going to conventions, which is fine. Completely okay with that. It's steampunk is kind of one of those things that not corporate America could never really grasp.
Yeah.
And therefore it never got turned into one particular thing like Star Wars, Star Trek, or Lord of the Rings. It never got, I guess, people didn't make too much money on it, so therefore it never became something specific, and therefore very much has been given to the people who enjoy it to basically say what it is, because there are still people out there that ask, what is steampunk? And it's
Yeah.
so terrible to have to tell them all these things and no one catches it, and you're like, well, did you see Wild Wild West?
Well, that's part of the problem, but that's why the article that we were talking about earlier, if you go to Strange Horizon, I put the link in our group.
Yeah, you sure did.
Jamie Go, Dr. Jamie Go, she is Malaysian Chinese, and she did both her master's and her doctorate on steampunk, and about expanding steampunk out. So in 2019, she wrote an article called Variations on a Name, The Punks of Our Time for Strange Horizons. And she described it as an aesthetic of accelerated technology in settings inspired by the industrial revolutions. And that was a really, really important definition, because I think it covers more than, Victorian science fiction or Wild Wild West.
It's
because a lot of places had
yesterday.
Well, and a lot of places had industrial revolutions. I mean, a lot of places changed besides Victorian England.
Yes.
So her article basically, because what she was told, she said, an agent told me I can't use the word steampunk to describe my novel. A friend of hers said that steampunk was dead. And what she talks about is that the commercial aspect of steampunk was like blown out there for a while. And so it became one of those dead topics, but it's still here. And so she writes about different ways to play with it, to embrace it, to, bring in the multicultural steampunk, the Afrofuturism, the African steampunk, Chinese steampunk, or like Ken Liu. He's a Chinese author. He calls his silk punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
silk
there's
punk.
Silk punk.
Silk. Oh yeah.
Silk
Okay.
punk,
Silk Road. Silk Road.
Silk. And there's so there's a lot of different steampunk out there. And I think it's a matter of embracing new avenues. It's not just, corsets and top hats, running through foggy alleys in Victorian London. That's okay. But there's more than that.
That's how I have to explain my character most of the time. If you ever watch the movie Maverick, I'm kind of the steampunk westernized version of him. I am not your, like you said, I'm not your Londoner running around going, jolly ho, I say. This is, tip top.
Yes, exactly. Wacky adventures in Victorian London where you're chasing, bionic Jack the Ripper. It's
it's
great.
Those are cool, and I don't mind being involved in those.
Yes.
But I'm definitely going to be considered the Texan of the show.
So there's a lot more, which is also what I tried to do on That's what I tried to do on Dollhouse. That was why I tried to expand out into different places and ideas of it. Like, and I know I've talked about this before. Jeannie Liu's Gunpowder Chronicles. It's 2 books. Yes, and those are so excellent. And it's about the Opium Wars, but from a Chinese perspective and Chinese steampunk. And it's excellent. So I think that's part of breaking out. I mean, we've been trying to break out. Some of us have been trying to break out of the Victorian ideal for, 15 years now. So it's
never mind. My character was not built on the Victorian ideals.
Yeah, see, mine wasn't.
I actually came from the Renaissance festivals right as steampunk began to happen. And I was already building my pirate outfit. And just this hat showed up, and suddenly that's what it was.
Well, and even when I was creating Blue Stocking for the Dollhouse, she was suffragette. She's more of a suffragette, and and I had that whole outfit, with the bloomers and the sash and everything that I can't wear anymore because it doesn't fit. But it's about showing that there's other aspects to it, and so I think that's part of where the future is. It's TV shows that explore different aspects of steampunk, or movies. But the problem is like Predator Cities, Mortal Engines, Predator Cities. The movie bombed. I mean, it was Peter Jackson and Hugo Weaving, and the movie bombed. and I thought it was good. Nobody else liked it apparently, except diehard steampunks.
Yeah, and that's the problem. We're such a niche group, and that movie, all these big companies are trying to figure out a way to apply it across a large audience, and a lot of the audience doesn't get it.
It's too
They don't
niche.
understand.
Yeah.
So it's alternate history with goggles, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's not like.
Well, I mean,
it is, but it isn't. They can't just go gears on it either and call it steampunk completely. That's like you can. I'm in that boat now, but it doesn't come across. It comes across as, oh, we just glazed over this to make it aesthetically pleasing to grab the steampunk crowd and people. We don't really know how to use it effectively as a storytelling element.
Yeah.
And that's the key. Like, honestly, if you took the movie Dune and you removed all the spaceships and you put it into like 1700s Europe, it fits.
Yeah.
You take it, you put it into a fantastical area with dragons and whatnot. It fits. You stick it in sci-fi. It fits. It's a good story with good characters.
Yeah.
A little slow for a lot of people, but that's the key. You can stick it in steampunk and you have a good time too. It's just that.
That's my quote now.
Stick it in steampunk.
All right. Well, Thax, what do you think? Where's the future for steampunk?
I don't see. Well. I mean, it's to sound positive, but I don't see steampunk dying.
Oh yeah, no.
But because it has always up until now, from the 80s when it first was coined.
Yeah.
It was popular in novels and role playing games, and didn't make good movies. And the mainstream audience is not there to support, and they don't know how to market steampunk stuff to the correct audience. Yeah. And so you're going to hear steampunk is dead from the major media because like you guys have said, it doesn't work there.
Yeah, it's hard. It's beautiful. I mean, but
yeah, even when they make a spot on awesome movie or half decent series, it doesn't stick around. It bombs, or it gets canceled early, or it doesn't make the money they want it to. But it doesn't matter. That's not really, as much as we might like to see more steampunk movies. That's not where it's at. This was a literary movement to start with, so
definitely,
I should read more.
Yes,
not just our listeners. Me, I need to read more. But it's also very popular in places that are not America, where they also make movies and they make a lot of video games. So you see plenty of steampunk in video games.
Yes,
anime. Of steampunk in anime.
Yes, and it's amazing.
You'd like an introduction to anime that is steampunk, there's lots of opportunity.
Steam Boy.
So
Steam
other
Boy,
countries.
Last Exile, I really enjoyed.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Most Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Yes. Studio Ghibli has.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, they have really knocked it out of there. Yeah, and Lawrence is right. The gaming industry is always they've always been good about steampunk though, like Warcraft.
Because they're marketing to the people who are gonna dig that sort of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
As a storytelling element, it's so beautiful.
I don't know why the major media seems to not have a clue.
Get it? Yeah.
We're still going to get more, and it's still going to be good. There are going to be things to be excited about. They're just going to be with subtitles or in the gaming and novels area.
And I also
go on.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like to a certain extent, it's you need exposition with a lot of sci-fi too, but with steampunk to a certain extent, you need exposition, and movies and TV shows only allow for a certain amount of that. Whereas with a book or even a video game, you're going to get more narrative arc. With a TV show or a movie, nobody wants to sit there and listen to 20 minutes of exposition about why the world is this way before, it's unless they do it like
of the 1980s Dune. It's an exposition for 11 minutes.
Unless somebody does it like Doctor Who.
Where I understand what's going on.
Well, like Doctor Who, the companions were the bridge between the Doctor and the audience. He would explain things to the companion, and that was how we got. So, I mean, unless someone creates something like, specifically steampunk, where there is someone that can, be fed that exposition and get that explanation as the thing goes along. But that's part of why I think, because people just don't get the story.
Yeah.
They don't, because I mean, I'm fine with very little plot if things are blowing up or, look really cool. Not everybody's like that. Some people want to know why things are happening the way they are, because it's, it's part of suspension of disbelief. And so if they don't understand, like Carnival Row, if they don't understand that that's an allegory about colonialism, they don't understand what's going on. They just don't like it. It just didn't get enough viewers.
Some people also don't like the preachiness that is behind a lot of this, because it does come off that way sometimes. But that's the thing. You're taking an event in history and you're tweaking it to be more apparent, because we're not using people's skin tone and whatnot. We're making them fairies with wings.
Fairies, yeah.
And we're going to be completely against them because they're taking
robots,
our jobs,
or
they're lazy. They're moving in, whatever. I know, right? Freaking fairies. But that's my quote for the evening.
All right.
It's but I don't know why media doesn't have doesn't get it, because they did some really good cartoons back in my lifetime. They did Tailspin. It's not completely steampunk, but it's got that like nice
Tailspin. Oh my
20s and 30s art, nouveau,
the Art
feel
Deco,
the Art Deco
yeah.
feel to it. And then you had Batman from the same time frame, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you have, so I don't know, a lot of these came from obviously that one, those were for children, but Batman came from comic books. Amazing Screw-On Head was fantastic, and it's a good 30-minute little movie, but it's, it came from a comic book. And those would have been, that one specifically is very steampunk, but it's like Civil War steampunk.
Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that is, why don't we have more of that? And that humor is perfect.
Yeah.
And it fits. And you don't have to know anything. Nothing makes sense in that, because you don't, here's Emperor Zombie. His girlfriend's a bat vampire, and he's an automaton working as a secret agent for Abraham Lincoln. I'm done. I am fully
I
into
will
this.
take it.
And
Take
he's
my
trying
money.
to raise this elder god and be his military advisor for this new world.
Okay, this sounds like a mashup of entirely too many things.
It is a great 30 minutes.
That's all in 30 minutes?
Niles Crane plays Emperor Zombie. So
seriously, David Hyde Pierce?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good Lord.
Who plays Amazing Screw-On Head? It's another. It's like who plays him? It is. Come on. Oh, heck. IMDb.
It never works fast when people are staring at you.
Nope. This came out in 2006. And it is by Paul Giamatti.
Oh, yeah, he turns up in the weirdest places.
Yeah. No, this is a fan. I'll link it into the thing. This is one of my more favorite steampunk. Just like if I had to show someone else steampunk and I knew they'd be into it, this would be one of the first things I'd show them. Like, this has got the humor, this has got the stupid action, it's got the characters that are way bigger and have a lot more things going on.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah,
it is worth watching.
Yeah. Well, and I think Lawrence, I think you're right. That is part of the problem, is that, as like we said, people do want a definition sometimes, or at least a place to start. But that's also, like I said, that's why I like the Jamie Go definition. It's just accelerated technology and settings inspired by industrial revolutions. That should be enough, but
people want to know when they're going into a Star Wars movie that they can expect certain physics to apply.
Well, and also, if you think, what do you think when you hear industrial revolution? America and England?
Smokestacks, coal, a lot of guys with tall hats and muskets.
Yeah.
Dirty Irishman.
Children working in textile factories. That's what I think of.
I mean, we still got that. They're just building iPhones now.
Oh, no.
Sarita says, if a producer calls something steampunk, but it feels or looks a bit too slick corporate, the steampunk population will not embrace it. And I don't know that I can think of an instance where that's happened.
I think, and I get where she's coming from. I think there's a bit of a hipster thing to it that if everybody wants to do it, I don't want to do it. If everybody else likes it, then it's not special, and I don't want it.
Jack, you said you had an example?
I have an example.
Okay.
Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
See,
would have been a
that.
fantastic movie.
It was so good. But yeah, it had what?
It had definite corporate, like,
it had Angelina Jolie.
I don't understand what we have here to mess with.
Okay, but
it's one person help with the script that was in the know. It would have been perfect.
But did the steampunk community not embrace it? Because
I wasn't part of it at the time, so I don't know what.
It's too shallow. Like, it had so many good aspects. First off, the people who played all the characters were fantastic. I wanted to see more of having the female admiral. What's her name? She's in the freaking.
Wasn't it Angelina Jolie?
Angelina Jolie playing the British aircraft carrier admiral, but the aircraft carriers are flying. It was like the end 5 pages of a comic book was the whole movie. It was the end of the movie. It was the end of the book. You had no build up. It was just thrown in there and you go. And the MacGuffin was easy to figure out. The ray gun at the beginning being handed off and then promptly forgotten for the entire movie in his back pocket, and then used conveniently at the end was the most giveaway thing. Like, the plot holes were gaping.
Fly an airship through.
Yeah. But other than that, it was a great, beautiful movie that could have been. If they did a second one, I think it would have been better.
That's the problem, though. They're not going to make a second one if the
first one didn't make the money that they thought it should. So no.
Yeah, because Mortal Engines, there's more books after that first one.
They didn't even do the first book. They took out the villain.
It was
what they did with the Bourne Identity. Let's just take 3 books and remove the bad guy.
Hey, I love the Bourne movies. Thank you.
I know, I do too. That's why I haven't read the books yet.
I
haven't read the books yet, but my brother tells me they're good movies and they're good books. They're not the same story.
They're not the same thing at all. I've read the first book, not the same thing.
But Matt Damon can be replaced in both of them in my head, so it works out well. No. I mean, I can imagine Matt Damon in the book as being him. I don't have to come up with a whole new character guy. If you ever read a book and then you went and see the movie and you're like, I hate this movie because it's not the guy I would have picked.
You just separate.
Yeah.
Matt Damon. Okay.
Damon. So that's my. That's your Captain World of Tomorrow is my look at what corporate. Oh, and then.
I could see
Warehouse 13 tried to be steampunk.
Yeah.
What, Warehouse 13? Yeah, they did. And they even made a joke about that in final season where the warehouse got changed and Pete's like, sorry about your steampunk, Artie.
See, they got it. They got it.
Well, Datamancer made the equipment for which unfortunately we lost him shortly after that. But yeah, he made all of the equipment for that. And it was, I didn't even know for a long time, like when I was in high school, I didn't know what steampunk was. I thought I was just called myself weird Victorian and I wore long dresses and, all sorts of weird shit. And I didn't find out what steampunk was till then. And I read all the books, but I didn't know until the mid 2000s, 2006, 2007.
I didn't know what was going on. I'm some sort of weird space cowboy. Yeah. It's still kind of weird.
I know
now.
I like this thing.
I can just walk onto a set of Star Wars or go to a convention. I don't know. I'm okay in both places.
Yeah.
I guess that is one thing that has changed since back in the days of 5 years ago and today. I don't often have to explain what steampunk is anymore.
I think people
usually if I'm in the kit, people just assume I'm steampunk or start asking me steampunk questions. It's like they know. So it's getting better. It's slowly getting traction to be in the general zeitgeist. So maybe that will bring more high budget movies or
it would be nice. Yeah, because it's such a rich playground for so many different things that that you can do with it. Like I said, when you look at, and I know I've talked about these before, but Everfair by Nizi Shawl, where the workers in the Congo, the ones that had amputations, they got these amazing clockwork prosthetics.
Yes.
Yes, they were so cool. I would love to see that, So there's a lot, and there's the book series about the as the where the world is ruled by the Dutch. I think it's ruled by the Dutch and the English, and there's these the robots that start to gain a sense of self and consciousness, and they start fighting back, and it's really cool. It would be beautiful, and I think they could, but it's like, again, explanation for why is the world ruled by the the Dutch and the English. That's the way it is. Why is it like? Because, and I think that's part of the problem too, especially with alternate history, explaining why it is this way. Like alternate histories that involve like the Civil War, you can just say, well, the South won.
Yeah.
But that also brings its own problematic connotations. So,
Yes.
I mean, if there's a big explanation involved as to why the world is that way, that causes a problem. It's more writing, it's more explanation, and people are going to get bored.
Yeah.
Well,
movie audiences.
It's not necessary to explain everything.
So
in the world,
yeah,
I think movies that explain nothing and you just have to figure it out as you go are compelling. If they're done right,
them, if they're there, that's a fine.
So
yeah,
with that, it's kind of like if any of y'all have watched the Better Call Saul TV show. You have like the first couple of minutes of every episode has something to do with the episode, but you have no point of reference.
Oh yeah.
So and then suddenly the scene happens where it's important later in the show, and I guess it's like that for a lot of the older, like the CSI movies, or pretty much every House episode to begin with ever is you're on some random volleyball field, a guy grabs his heart and falls over, and someone goes, "Say, get an ambulance!" and then suddenly we're trying to figure out how it's not lupus, and but it's kind of I don't mind if we have to put me in a position for me to do a little extra reading or watching to kind of set the tone. A lot of movies used to do that because they had no other way of explaining it or telling it.
Yeah.
But like also you said, just jumping in the roller coaster going, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Whee!
Well, and I mean, some things
were freeing to just be involved in what's going on and not have any point of reference either, because then you don't carry along any baggage that goes with it.
Well, and it doesn't necessarily have to be long, because the Discovery of Witches, I read the books are my favorites, and the TV show in the first half of the first season, they're like, the world used to be ruled by us, vampires, demons, and witches, and they just do this one of the main characters does this real short explanation of why there's 4 species, and how they were, how they are now,
like the opening of Underworld.
Kind of, yeah. And the show did it for, like I said, I think it was the first half of the first season. They had this quick explanation that he would give, and then they would go into the show, and the show was as they're doing the opening scenes, driving or whatever, and he would do it, and that was it. And if you can concisely do that for something, then just give them a slight leg up into what they're watching, and then, let the insanity roll. That would be, it seems easy enough, but.
That's how Indiana Jones did it, was just you started off and he's wandering through the jungle.
He's running from something. Yeah.
And that's how, like, kind of what Rita's saying here, how she got started early on as a punk person. Like, my dad sat me down. We watched Alan Quartermain in The Lost City of Gold. And I'm like,
oh, the one from the 80s with Sharon Stone?
Oh, yeah. And the one from 1986, the year I was born.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because watching that and then Indiana Jones in my life. And then I'm just, then you had not DuckTales, but Tailspin. Yeah. Tailspin and Darkwing Duck. And I'm like, this is the person I am. I like big hats and, metal airships that look like vultures that belch airplanes. I'm all for this. This is just me now. And that was me at age 8.
Yeah.
I knew who I was at age 8.
Yeah, Indiana Jones movie.
And loving the Art Nouveau of Batman. Like,
oh yes. Yeah, that show. I was in high school when that came out, and it was amazing. God, it was so good. Still watch it. Yep.
I actually did, but we haven't watched it with Cody yet, but I do own it. And
Yeah. Well, it's on Max. Yeah, because I'll put when I can't sleep, I'll come out to the couch and put that on and just let that run in the background. And
I found out recently there's a gaming company or homemade or what's the right word I'm looking for. There's a game shop in my office building now because it's a reconstructed or it's a reformatted old high school, and so all the rooms are different offices now, and it's like built like in 1930s, so it's got that heavy look of it, built like a freaking church.
yeah.
And but yeah, they have a novelty store for bobbleheads and anime and all this stuff. But on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m., they do breakfast, cereal, and morning cartoons.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know. I guess it was a couple. We were back in the apartment, and I was real sick. I had like the flu or something, and so I went to watch Saturday morning cartoons, and there weren't any.
No, there's none.
I was like, what?
Cartoon Network killed that.
What happened to Saturday morning cartoons? I was like, you get up early and you watch like Berenstain Bears.
You got DuckTales on at 6 a.m. and you have the your mom's clock on the mantle dinging through the entire opening sequence.
Yep,
Thus,
not anymore.
you can't sing the song without hearing the dings at the right exact moments.
Yeah, and when the X-Men cartoon started, I loved that. The X-Men cartoon was awesome.
That was and Gargoyles.
Yeah, Gargoyles.
No wonder Steampunk really did well for us because we even had Gargoyles, which had pretty much the entire cast of Next Generation as different.
Different
evil
gargoyle.
Riker saying cool things like, don't have to, what was his evil quote that was perfect? Something along the lines of, you don't have to trust evil men because trustworthy men are corruptible too, or something like that. And you're like, this is coming from a cartoon?
Yeah, it was surprisingly in depth for a cartoon. Yeah.
So let's bring this right back around a little bit.
Yeah, bring it back around.
Steampunk has been threaded into everything
In
in the fabric of TV,
everywhere,
whether they want it to be there or not. And
well, look at Fringe. I mean, Fringe definitely had Walter's Lab, absolutely weird ass. And even in on the Parallel World in Fringe.
Yeah.
Fringe of Parallel World, they had airships.
Yep.
Yeah, the Empire State Building was a dock for airships, and there was a big steampunk aesthetic woven through it. So it shows up. It's just not.
It's not. We don't have Star Wars the Steampunk movie. we have steampunk will be glided in and out as a storytelling element that will like kind of change the situation or change the world in which they live in. What?
You got Wild Wild West.
We do have Wild Wild West.
No.
It's even in the Wild Wild West.
we need a steampunk Lego
giant
movie.
mechanical spiders that needed to be in a Superman movie.
I mean, it's
Nicolas
just
Cage.
It's just a short, quick, effective explanation, But depending on the person, that may make them not want to have anything to do with it.
But you know why there's a giant mechanical walking spider, right? Because the producer.
Because they could?
No, because yes, but the producer who produced that movie, they lost the rights to do a Superman movie with Nicolas Cage playing Superman when he was big star at the time. Yeah, I know, right?
No,
I've seen those.
And
pictures.
he wanted him to be fighting a giant space spider that shot fire.
So was it like a surplus spider?
No, it was not a. It was just we ordered it. We had to put it on a movie set. No, it was just this producer really, really wanted a freaking spider that blew fire that was large, and so they like, you know what?
Sharks with freaking laser beams.
Yeah, it was that, but a producer.
Okay.
And if you watch the Flash movie, there is a sequence. Actually, you can find it online now. You don't actually have to go watch that movie, but it's decent. But where it shows all the different realities, and one of them is Superman. And it's this guy, it's Superman from the back, and it's long, flowing hair, and he's really tall.
Like Con Air hair.
It carries around, and it's
it's different.
And then immediately goes into fighting a massive spider.
Jeez,
like this is perfect. This is what we needed right there. Someone figured that one out.
Always need a giant mechanical spider.
Well, I don't. I mean, there's a song about giant mechanical crabs. I'm hoping they're talking about the sea crabs because. It'd be even more terrifying if they weren't.
Oh my God.
So, Another news. Lawrence mentions that Sovereign Syndicate just came out this month. It's a steampunk RPG.
I have not.
By that I mean video game.
Oh, at damn YouTube autoplay. Okay. Oh, it's on Galaxy of Games. Okay, cool.
Sovereign Syndicate.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I think I've
that's
been watching
just
this
two
one for
words
a
that are
while.
so hard to spell.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
No,
we
I've
haven't
been watching
talked about
this. It's yeah, it looked fun.
Ooh, and it's got content not appropriate for all ages. Now I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, that's the whole. I mean,
I'm into it now.
Pulled out of libraries in Florida.
nudity. I'm fully for it.
I'm digging it. Good
No,
lord.
it's not content for.
My God, they're smoking pipes. What'll our children think?
Their vapes.
Shit.
Their vapes look so authentically old, Grandpa.
Fancy vapes. Good lord. All right.
That's something I'm surprised I haven't seen yet.
What?
A vape that
Steampunk vapes?
looks like a pipe.
There aren't. I just assumed
I
that
have not seen one.
Why do you
Yeah,
think
true. We would have seen it at
Yeah.
Steampunk November if it was.
The problem
Yeah.
with vapes is they need a huge battery pack, and apparently chrome is the only color they come in. It's got to look like you hook yourself up and like sucking out the back end of a motorcycle. It's like,
No, they do make them.
like you said,
Neat.
there's- don't really see too many. Let's
Yeah.
see here.
Uh,
Steampunk.
go
vape.
to Vape Yaya. VapeYaya.com, and they're shaped like pipes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
We
think
are
you
not
can-
endorsing Vape Yaya.
No, I
No,
just.
they are not.
Although if you can get them to pay us, we'll talk about it all day.
Talk about
We'll
Vape
We'll make
Yaya all day long.
lots of
They-
jokes at their
They
expense.
have all sorts of Sherlock Holmes looking pipes on there.
Here's an
Cool.
e-cigarette that looks like something like a crack pipe. That's interesting.
No,
I don't want that.
no,
It
we
looks-
didn't know.
It literally is just glued gears on
No,
it.
that's bad.
E-cigarette smoking vape pipe.
I mean, I'll admit that I really like the lighter, this like steampunk lighters. There's some good ones out there.
Oh, there's a lot of kooky lighters.
Can we use "Glue Some Gears on It" as our song? Can you get permission? Do you think you can get permission from the to let us
You
use
know
that?
what? I'll ask. Sure.
Well,
Why not?
yeah, it can't hurt.
Yeah, all you can do is say no. Bring some new life back into the song. I mean, it came out how long ago?
If he wants to be interviewed, we'll interview him. too.
Yes, yes. That would be awesome.
If not, we can go. We can ask and see if we get fighting trousers.
You know, I've met Professor Elemental. He's really cool. He'll probably let us.
Yeah,
Very possibly, yeah. We'll just have to make sure Facebook and YouTube understand that.
we can
have-
start it off with "I don't like your tweets, sir," as the opening sequence, which is now dated, which is kind of funny.
I
You're
know.
right, Blue Stocking. I'd have to fight with Facebook and YouTube every week. He said I was
Yeah.
allowed. He
Yeah,
said.
that's not worth your blood pressure. I would just.
If you
just
use less than
listen
10
for
seconds of it, you're fine.
Yeah, but
we're
10
not making-
seconds is.
I was gonna use far more than 10 seconds.
I was gonna say, yeah, 10 seconds is. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I get away with it sometimes myself fairly often, but it's under 14 seconds and it works out fairly okay.
All right. Well, any final thoughts, gentlemen? As we
I'm looking
creep
forward to what steampunk becomes moving forward. AI is certainly getting into the steampunk thing.
Oh,
Mm,
yeah.
I which I find interesting. I don't think we need to be as frightened as a lot of the artist community is, but we will see.
Yeah.
It's different. It's definitely kind of doing its own thing. And there's, technology moves forward, things change, but our tastes don't. It's going to be interesting, fun, not dead.
Now
Well,
it's
and
not
Far
dead.
from dead.
No,
just
no,
work.
it's because there's too much to do. It's like I said, it's a very rich, it's a target rich environment.
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
too many different ways to take it. So. Something I
They
said.
have something to say.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Ooh, somebody grumpy.
What if
Or
they wanted
somebody's
to
at the
make
door.
like a TV show or a movie out of something very classically steampunk? I think Girl Genius would be a definite place to
I mean,
start.
Girl Genius would be amazing. Yeah,
That would be like you wanted a true steampunk story.
Yeah.
Having an evil castle that's trying to kill you while you're trying to take it over because it's your blood right. It's a good place to start.
I can't believe I read that almost 20 years ago. God.
It's still continuing. There's a lot more of it now.
I know, because I thought
It's
one day about going back
daunting.
and trying to get back. I'm like, there's
I
so
just start at
much
the beginning every time, and I'll read it for like months on end, and then however I stop, I save it, but I never remember to go back to that one, so I have to go back and restart from the very beginning again.
Yeah, I have Girl Genius, Evil Genius goggles.
My lapel pen is the ammonite with the wings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good one, but I don't know. There's the aesthetic will always crop up just because it looks cool, even for nothing else. It looks cool, but it, a good,
it's like mad scientists went out of style with the hero Marvel movies that became the popularity.
Yeah, well, they're starting to wane a little bit, so.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get mad scientists again. That's really kind of an important aspect I realize right now that we need is unbridled scientific experimenting that really pushes steampunk to the to the forefront of everything. That and Jacob's ladders and Tesla coils are always help. I know, right? It gets your blood boiling a little bit. It's like, yes. The hair stands up on end.
Well, we're getting close to 9 o'clock.
We managed to stretch that all the way out. Look at us.
I mean, it really wasn't hard. We talked a lot about steampunk this time.
Well, we tend to run off, or I tend to send us.
Well, we brought you back. It's fine. I also went way off, but I tied it in miraculously in the end.
As opposed to other episodes where we barely get anywhere near it.
Sometimes that we don't really touch on it as much as we should.
Yeah,
yes,
we did. Yeah.
Especially
but that
with
was a really good subject.
Fantastic patrons who are encouraging us to do the steampunk thing, such as
ass and gear.
J.R. Seeger's A School for the Great Game. In his novel, an Edwardian teen, Elizabeth Bancroft, resents being sent to a finishing school in India, which is in fact the British India School for Spies, which is teaching the family business of espionage, martial arts, Tibetan mystic arts. The School for the Great Game is the first in the Steampunk Raj series, available on Amazon. We also need to thank Kitty with Fair Treasures. Fair Treasures has a selection of Texas-made female-presenting costumes and accessories for steampunk, Renaissance wear, one-of-a-kind imported jewelry. You can shop Fair Treasures at fairtreasures.com, fair spelled with an E, or on Etsy. So thank you, Kitty, for being a patron. We are on Patreon, so you're more than invited to come and buy us a beer or set down a monthly, drop a few bucks on us. We'd very much appreciate it.
Helps keep
much like our friends Jenny and Ryan Shaver have done every month. They've been a lot of help. And certified aeronaut Natalie McTavish is helping us. And we definitely want to thank Rita and Lawrence Allen. Generous grant from them and the crew of the airship Aberfeldy. Also want to mention that the Galveston Steampunk Festival is still coming up in April. Tickets are still on sale. I don't know about any of the other special events happening at the festival. I know those sold out quickly. There may be more tickets, and there maybe not. You'll have to check their website. So just Google Steampunk Galveston Festival, Galveston Steampunk Festival, and it'll get you right there. Yeah. Anything else we want to hit on? In 2 weeks, we are going to be talking about the what's the name of the house?
We posted early.
I'm
scrolling up to it. I got it right here. The League League Kempner House.
Yes. Yeah. Victorian mansion in Galveston that is being completely renovated, repaired, remodeled. The Lieb Kempner House. It's going to be a major part of the Galveston Steampunk Festival. So a lot of it will at least be enterable safely. But it's come a long way since they started working on it, and we're going to be interviewing the powers that be that have pulled this thing together.
Said it was haunted
in 2 weeks.
Yep.
I implied that it was haunted. I don't know if that's actually true.
that was my understanding. Yeah, there's shady things afoot.
Shady things.
It's not just my business dealings either.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
And I'm going to hand this over to Flavio to take us out.
So, once again, thank you for listening. You can find us again on Facebook at Texas Steampunk Connection for any comments, questions, suggestions. If you know of something happening in Steampunk that's happening soon, we can put it on our calendar, on our Patreon, as well as the list of over 100 comics and graphic novels, steampunk and Weird West related.
You can also email us at texassteampunkconnection@gmail.com. And we're a streaming podcast, texassteampunkconnection.podbean.com.
And if you lose it on Facebook and you want to watch a rerun of this show at any point in time on YouTube, you can go find them on Steam Chest.
And although we've made many, many jokes about Twitter, you can look for us at TX Steam Connect 1 on Twitter.
I never use it. I never look at it. I don't know. I don't understand Twitter. Yeah, so once again, thank you very much. And until next time, mind your gauges.
Mind your gauges.